And what if anything else did you observe when you observed the vehicle? Did you ever observe any individuals in relation to the vehicle when you got there?
Eventually, but not initially. But yes, we did eventually spot other.
Okay. How long were you there before you observed some individuals in relation to the vehicle?
Maybe 20 minutes, give or take.
And this was you, and you said another officer from the sheriff's office?
Yeah, Deputy Edwards was in the passenger seat.
What's the first thing you observed, or when you saw some individuals in relation to the vehicle? What did you observe?
Two black males. We're parked behind the vehicle in a cul-de-sac. They really couldn't see where we were. Two black males. We couldn't see the front door, but came from the front of the house, approaching the vehicle. At that time, we began to roll our vehicle in, and Okoye had an unmarked car. And we're going to go block the vehicle in, so it didn't move.
Okay, so you were there with the vehicle. You said there's another vehicle there as well?
Okoye PD rolled up in a truck from the front, correct, unmarked.
Okay, and what happened when you rolled up, or started rolling up towards the vehicle?
The passenger got in the passenger seat, sat down, closed his door. The driver they actually walked out of the house looking around quite a bit. Driver got to the door, opened it, reached in his waistband. I couldn't see what he put on the floor, and he had a black backpack at that point. But when he saw us rolling in, he knew that we're the police. He ran.
Okay, let me back you up a little bit. You saw a person that you describe as having a backpack. Which side of the vehicle did they go to?
The driver's side.
Do you remember if the driver's side door was open or was it closed?
He opened it.
And you said you saw another individual. Where did that other individual go?
In the passenger seat, and he shut the door.
Okay. So the other individual actually sat inside the vehicle.
Correct.
Did the person with the backpack actually get into the vehicle or no?
Well, his hand was in there when he put whatever object he pulled out of his waistband, sat on the floorboard, but he never sat in there.
Okay. Could you see what it was that he pulled out of his waistband?
No, I could not.
What's the next thing that you observed, or what happened as you were pulling up?
He looked right at us. You know, we have a tactical uniform on. I'm sure he identified who we were. And before we could actually get to the vehicle, he ran around the front, and we just blocked the vehicle, and Deputy Edwards and I did.
Okay. So he never actually got in the vehicle?
Never did.
Where did he go?
He ran around the front. I don't know if they can see, but ran around the front of the blue vehicle, right up to the between the tree and the red truck, and he dropped the backpack on the sidewalk.
Okay. You actually saw him drop the backpack at that spot?
I did.
And then where did he go after he dropped the backpack?
There was a little 2-year-old girl out there. He almost knocked her over. Then he went to the left in front of the red Durango, and Okoye PD actually, and that was in the truck in front, was chasing him on foot. So he ran to the left of the house, and I lost sight of him.
All right, and specifically, what did you do when the individual started running towards that red truck?
I focused on the vehicle, the passenger, and Deputy Edwards and I actually went and took him out of the vehicle and secured him.
Okay. Did you have an opportunity to, how close were you to the individual on the driver's side that had the backpack? How close did you get to him?
Close as you and me.
Okay. And were you able to see his face? Was anything obscuring him? Okay. Do you think you'd recognize that individual if you saw him here again today in court?
Yes.
And do you see him here in court, and can you point him out by something he's wearing or where he said it?
It's Mr. Okafor in the suit over there on the right.
And just where on the right is he?
Say again, I'm sorry.
Just where on the right is he?
To the right of his attorney, it looks like. The very right of the desk.
Okay. Your Honor, may the record reflect he's identified Mr. Okafor.
Record will so reflect.
And so you're able to see his face at that point?
It's staring right at me, yeah.
And you said you were wearing a tactical vest?
Correct. It's a sheriff and had my badge.
Oh, okay. Were you inside your vehicle at that point, or were you getting out of your vehicle at that point?
I was in the vehicle when he fled.
Is there anything, are the windows in the vehicle tinted or anything, or can you see through the vehicle?
My front window's not tinted, no.
And you said at that point, did you end up eventually blocking the vehicle in, or what did you do?
Correct, yeah. We went bumper to bumper. O'Coy did in the front, we did in the back.
And then you said that you stayed or went towards the person in the passenger side of the vehicle.
Deputy Edwards and I approached, with guns drawn, tactically approached the vehicle. Edwards was on the passenger side, I was on the driver's side, and made contact with the passenger. And
Okay. And you said Ocoee Police was at that location at that time?
he was already out and chasing the driver of the vehicle.
And you said Deputy Edwards was with you when you approached the passenger?
Correct. I walked towards the driver door, and Edwards went to the passenger door.
Okay. And what did you do then?
Gave verbal commands. Deputy Edwards actually opened the passenger door. We gave verbal commands, and the passenger was compliant. I went around the back of the vehicle and handcuffed the passenger.
Okay. And do you see that individual? Would you recognize that individual that you saw on the passenger side of the vehicle if you saw him again?
I would.
And do you see that individual here in court today?
I do.
And can you point him out and describe him where he's seated or where he's wearing?
Sitting at the left desk in the suit and the white shirt and tie.
Your Honor, may the record reflect he's identified Mr. Bernard.
Record will so reflect.
Okay. And you said that, was it you or Deputy Edwards that placed him in custody at that time?
I handcuffed him.
At some point, did the Ocoee Police Department arrive, or members of the Ocoee Police Department take custody of Mr. Bernard?
They did.
Was that at the scene or where you guys were at that address?
At that point, we handcuffed him on the passenger side of the vehicle, which faced the house. Handcuffed him there, but actually brought him to the other side of the vehicle for safety reasons. We didn't know who else was in the home at the time.
Okay. And did you make any observations about the vehicle at all? Were you able to see inside the vehicle at all?
Yes, I was.
And what, if anything, were you able to see inside the vehicle?
On the the driver floorboard was a handgun, a silver and black handgun.
Where was the handgun in relation to the vehicle?
The driver's floorboard.
And did you do anything, or did you attempt to recover the handgun at that time?
No, I didn't touch it.
What did you do then after Ocoee Police Department took custody of Mr. Bernard?
Should be mentioned, it was actually a second handgun in there. I didn't know if you were going to ask me that. But
Were you able to observe anything else in the vehicle?
it was a second handgun and what appeared to be a black mask on the passenger seat, kind of in between the armrests and where the passenger was sitting.
Okay. And were you able to see that from the driver's side, or where were you able to observe that?
Both, driver and passenger side.
And did you do anything in terms of trying to collect that or recover
No, we
those
didn't
items?
touch anything. Didn't touch anything inside the vehicle.
What did you do then? We're at the point now where Ocoee Police Department has custody of Mr. Bernard. What did you do then?
At that point, scene was pretty secure. They caught the second subject, Okafor, that ran, and we actually called everybody out of the home via a PA system.
Okay. And so prior to all this, you were at the home for about, you said 15 or 20 minutes?
Down the street watching the home, yeah.
All right. And during that time, did you see anybody else go into the home?
We did watch a school bus drop some kids off, and
Okay,
an 8-year-old girl walked in.
Okay. And when you say kids, how old were the kids?
Elementary school age.
And you said you called on the PA for anybody else to come out of the house.
It wasn't me. It was don't even know who did, but yeah, several people came out of the home.
Okay. And do you recall, recall a description of the other people that came out of the home?
There were children, males and females. I honestly don't remember.
Okay. Were you involved in the chase of Mr. Okafor at all?
No, I was not.
And did you see him